What's up guys? Welcome to my video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you don't know, my name is Yesy Anai, aka Anai Artistry on my professional IG. I'm very excited that you're here because for today's video, I created this look. It's kind of like a purple smoky eye vampire-esque moment with some pink glitter. And to achieve it, I used the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions palette. All of the products that I use throughout this video will be listed down below. Please follow me on social media. I'll go ahead and link both of my Instagrams down below as well. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And without further ado, if you'd like to learn how I created this look, then please keep on watching. I quickly did my brows off camera. Now I'm moving on to foundation. Next, I'm going to conceal with my E.L.F 16-Hour Camo Concealer, and I'm going to set with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. And then once I feel that the concealer is blended everywhere else, I'm going to go up to my under eye and just lightly cover that area with concealer, very lightly. And I'm not a big fan of baking, so what I like to do is just take a fluffy brush and dip it in my powder just a little bit. And right where I would get a little bit of creasing under my eyes, I take that brush with a little bit of powder and just place it right there. I try to do as little as possible because if I were to bake or if I were to put too much under there, I'll end up looking really cakey, and I feel like it just accentuates wrinkles that I didn't even know were there. From my experience in working as a makeup artist on my clients and just on myself, if I were to bake and really pack on powder, it just makes it look so dry and so cakey and crepey. So I really do like to avoid baking as much as possible on myself and on my clients. And then with the excess concealer that I have on my sponge, I like to just go in to the areas that I want highlighted. And then just with a little bit of powder, go into the places that I know will get a little creasy throughout the day. So it's gonna be my chin, my smile lines, and my forehead. And quickly before I move on, I just wanted to say that baking is really unnecessary. If you think that baking is supposed to enhance your beauty routine, it might help with highlighting certain areas, but really it's ultimately not very necessary. If anything, it kind of makes your face look a little bit too dry, especially under your eyes. Just a word to the wise, you know, your routine is your routine, but if you really think that it's necessary to highlight certain areas, get a highlighting powder. Even your concealer, a lighter shade of concealer, can do just that. Baking might work if you're a younger girl, you don't have a lot of aging, you don't have a lot of under eye bags and stuff like that. But if you do and you're finding trouble with baking, leave it out, get a really finely milled powder, or maybe just like use a little bit of that powder. Don't pack it on like you see on Instagram and on other YouTube videos. It's really not necessary. You can achieve a highlighted look without all of that powder. Now that my face is nice and set, I'm gonna move on to my eyes. To prime my eyes today, I'm using my NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Vanilla. Okay, so since this is a tutorial on how to create a smoky eye, I definitely don't want to get too complicated with the colors, so I'm going to stick with 3. The first sort of blending color, the lightest color, and then we're going to deepen it with a middle color, and I'll show you guys the placement of that and what its purpose is, and then we're going to go in with our darkest color that's going to go right in the crease. If there is viewers who don't know how to do a smoky eye, I definitely think that this one is the one that's a little bit more difficult just because it's a little bit messier than having like a cut crease or something like that, you know? And so I'm definitely going to do my best to explain what each color does and the placement of each color. So for our lightest shade, we're going to start with this light pinky color right here. This is going to be the base color, and this is what we're going to use to blend the colors that go on top of it. And I'm going to place this color all over the lid. Now with this color, I am going to extend it up a little bit towards the front of the brow. I know it's a little bit scary, but just trust me, this gives really beautiful dimensions. Next, I'm going to apply my next color, which is going to be a little bit darker, and that's going to be this darker purpley shade right here. So I'm going to put it right on my crease, and I'm just gonna start blending out. I'm not gonna go too far up like I did with the first color. I'm just gonna stay right in my crease, and in circular motions, I'm just gonna start blending that right into the crease. Oh, before I forget, another really good tip that I have when it comes to doing smoky eyes is to always place the color at the corner of your eye and then work from there. So you really make sure that you don't get uneven coverage throughout your eyeshadow look. If there is a lot of color on your brush and you put it down, it's not going to ruin your look because the concentration of color to make it smoky is going to be at the corner of your eye anyway. Now that we have that second color nice and smoked out, I'm going to go back in with the original first pinky color, and I'm just going to very softly in circular motions blend that color back in to emphasize the blend even more. Next, it's time for our deepest color in our smoky eye. I'm going to be using this dark purpley plummy color, and I'm just gonna focus all of that color right in the corner of my eye. Now that I've applied that pigment and it's nice and bold, I'm gonna, with the lightest of pressure, take that same small blending brush and very gently start blending that outwards. I don't want to go too far out because this isn't going to be a cat eye. It's going to be nice and smoky, so I'm going to keep it right in the corner of my eye. Now, to create a little bit more of a blend, I am going to take that same brush I haven't dipped back in, and I'm literally just going to start flicking the excess onto the middle of my crease. Next, it's time to fill in the crease. So with a packing brush, I'm just gonna take a little bit of concealer and start outlining slightly above my crease. Now, I have really small lids, and so it makes it difficult for me to create a high crease. So I have to get creative and make my own. I'm just gonna go above my lid and just start sketching. Now, this isn't gonna be perfect. I don't want it to be a line. I'm literally just gonna loosely create a higher lid. Next, to fill in my lid, I'm gonna go back in with the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm gonna use this sparkly reflective pink tone. Alright guys, now that my shimmers are shimmering, it's time to do the bottom lash line. And for that, I'm literally just going to run across all of the colors that I used, except for the shimmer, starting with the lightest and moving on to the darkest. And since this shadow look is pretty intense, I'm going to go in with a pretty thick liner. I usually don't do this, but I think I'm gonna tightline my waterline with black. This is definitely like a darker, you know, more intense look, so why not? Now that my full eye look is finished, I'm gonna continue on to the rest of the face. For my bronzer, I'm gonna take a fluffy dome-shaped brush, and I'm just gonna begin at the hollows of my cheeks and start patting in that color. And for my nose, I'm just gonna pinch my brush and start carving out. For my blush today, I'm using MAC Mineralized blush in the color Gentle. Next, for highlight, I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty Winter Highlighting Palette. Finally, it's time for lips. Alrighty, that completes this makeup look. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post. Have a good one, and until next time, guys.